everybody, it is Keri and Kersten from Big Daddy's BBQ, and we are going to the urologist. And before you stop the video, there is a reason for this, because we are actually spotlighting an amazing doctor, and his name is Dr. Heiner, and he works at the Treasure Valley Urology. And now you're probably wondering, why are we partnering with him? And it's kind of a funny story. When we were working with Darling Cookie Co. last November, she made these amazing little cookie pies to go with our smoked turkeys. We actually found out that at Darling Cookie Co. can make a specialized vasectomy cookie set for the Big Daddy in your life. And let me tell you, they are as delicious as they are cute, classy, and a little bit sassy. See, I think that one of my favorite cookies was actually the little lemon cookie that said 100% juice, no seeds. And that's where I say it's a little bit sassy. And we are here today with Jared Heiner from Treasure Valley Urology, and we are gonna kind of get to know him a little bit. Is it true that the vasectomies are actually more popular during March Madness?
Yes, there's a lot of marketing around it. It's a good excuse to, you know, sit on the couch and recover. Yes, watch sports. Don't lift anything heavier than a remote control or some brisket.
Oh, there you go. So Big Daddy's BBQ on the couch after a vasectomy and watch the game.
Yep.
It doesn't get any better than that, really.
No, that's true.
Do you notice that the decision to get a vasectomy is actually a family one as opposed to just like a singular male?
Yes, I'd say, I mean, there's definitely men who want to get a vasectomy, but I'd say it's maybe 30 or 40% him and 60% her that drives that decision. You know, the one of the sad things I think about the whole family planning situation is that it's way easier for us to get our tubes tied than for them to get their tubes tied.
Yeah.
But we're way less likely to initiate that or to volunteer or say, yeah, so that sounds like a great idea, I'll do that. You know, it's more people are like, well, she can get her tubes tied because I'm not, you know. Yeah. But it's way, but after a vasectomy, most people are like, that's it. You know, if I would have done this years ago if I knew how easy this was. Yeah. So that's most people's experience. They're kind of surprised that it's kind of a non-event. And you know, if they knew that, I think a lot more people, and we take a lot of measures to make it comfortable. Yeah. And so most of the people that get their vasectomy here, they leave saying, wow, I'd rather do this than go to the dentist. Or nobody ever says they want to come back. Yeah. But
understandable. But I think that's kind of the cool part about your job is that, what you were saying before, is that you really are making people's lives better. Like at the end of the day, they may not want to come back, but their life is still better after they leave.
Right, yep.
And that's what's really important. And I like that you actually brought up how the procedure is a lot easier for men to do as opposed to women. As a woman,
yep.
I like the fact that there's not as much pressure just on me to have to make that decision.
Well, and I think in those relationships, you know, the women are the ones taking a birth control pill every day, or being on hormones, or getting an implant, or an IUD, or I mean, so much of the onus is on them, and you guys have enough to deal with. You know, I mean, if you look at it physiologically and biologically, man, our life's pretty simple. Yeah. You know, your guys is complicated, and honestly, that's like when I see men that come in for a vasectomy, that's probably the first doctor visit they've had since like their high school sports physical.
Oh, really?
You know, and our wives, and they've been through babies and pelvic exams and history, all kinds of stuff, you know. Yeah. And for us, you know, we really, life's kind of simple for us, and so it's not that big a deal for us to take one for the team and let you guys get off the pills. And
much appreciated. Thank you for going into this line of work for the women.
Thanks.
So tell me, what makes you different from other urologists?
I think me as an individual, first of all, I think there's great urologists. The Treasure Valley, there's a bunch of great urologists. I don't think there's a urologist that I wouldn't feel comfortable going to see. What makes me different? I enjoy the patient relationship. I take extra time with them. Yeah. I'm the only independent urologist, and I think that affords me certain advantages in the fact that, you know, I don't work for a big institution that is like a factory and have to see, you know, more and more patients in less and less time. And so, you know, coming to our office, it's more of a old-timey doctor's office feel. It's kind of a slower paced, kind of
personal experience.
I would say that.
Okay, good. I like that. It kind of goes back into the idea of local people helping local people.
Yeah, it's small business too, you know. Yeah. And so, I think there's a big lack of that. especially nowadays where, you know, most of the doctors, well, not most of them, but a lot of them hire on with bigger hospitals and bigger practices. The pendulum's kind of starting to swing the other way, because a lot of people can see some disadvantages with just being counted as a number or feeling like that.
Of course. Okay, so best advice. I did hear your receptionist talking about how you make it a mandatory 2-day, just hang out on the couch, nothing strenuous.
Yeah, so some of the best advice, I think there's really 3 important things to keep in mind. 1, you got to take it easy for the first couple of days. That doesn't mean you have to be bedridden. You don't have to spend the weekend on the couch. You can if you want to. But you don't want to lift anything heavy. You don't want to shovel the snow or go dirt biking or snowmobiling or, you know, till the garden in at whatever time of year. There's always something to do. And there's that temptation when you're sitting around. You think, well, I took the time off work, or that's undone and I could do that. And honestly, people think they're going to wake up in a world of hurt the next day. And when they wake up and they feel normal, like nothing happened, you know, that's the fool's bet right there. Because they'll say, well, I will go dirt biking with my friends, you know, and then at lunchtime, then they have like an eggplant between their legs because they got a hematoma, you know. Or,
oh no.
So, but that's a mistake, and you'll hear people say that. They'll give that advice to their friends. Well, I, you know, felt great. I felt normal the next day, and so I started cleaning out in the garage, and then I didn't feel normal.
Yeah.
And then I got real sore. So you want to take it easy for the first couple of days. Ibuprofen's great. If you can take ibuprofen, it's an anti-inflammatory pain medicine. If you take that around the clock every 8 hours with some food, you can really minimize the soreness and be real comfortable.
Yeah, preferably brisket or barbecue being the food you take with your pills. Or a cookie from At Darling Cookie Co. So
absolutely.
You got the savory, you got the sweet, you really don't need anything else.
That's right.
Yeah.
One patient's wife, and she is a sweetheart. She's a physician in town, and she is smart as a whip. Her patients get great care. And she sent her husband in for a vasectomy, and she offered me $50 if I would say, whoops, or uh-oh. Well, that's
awesome.
not, you know. And so we negotiated it, and I told her I'd do it for free.
Oh, good.
That's the kind of doctor.
Yeah, there you go. That is so funny. I imagine that situation after was kind of like, it was your wife. It was your wife.
She was there in the room while we were doing the procedure, and so, you know, he kind of looked up like, you know, and I was biting my tongue, and she was biting her tongue, so I think it was definitely tongue in cheek. So he wasn't too traumatized.
Yeah, no, that's good. So here's a real question: have you had our barbecue before?
Yes, I have.
Good.
I had some of your smoked turkey.
Yes.
And the brisket, and the brisket was my favorite.
Good. Yeah.
It just
most popular.
Yeah, it just melted. It was just, the smoky flavor was great, and it just perfect texture. You could tell, you know, it was a legitimate professional that made that brisket.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's something I could duplicate.
No, and I mean everyone. There's like the at-home smokers, and they definitely, I think everyone likes to try and get to it. And sometimes people can make really good product on their own, but Big Daddy's is here on the days that you don't want to slave over the smoker for 12 to 16 hours.
And I think that Dr. Heiner was a fantastic choice, not only because he's already advertised in our bathrooms, but also because he's just a really amazing guy, and everyone you talk to that's been with him has nothing but nice things to say.
His reviews look like our reviews, really. There's a lot of people just really happy about their experience there.
Yeah, and ours talk a lot about meat. So I guess in some ways we're talking about the same thing, just different kinds.